If it has 4 wheels and a motor, we have already tried proposing to it. Welcome to the Slow Motion Podcast with Shut Up and Drive It. Grab yourself a delicious cold beer and tell the rest of the world to shut the heck up. Here we talk real race cars and virtual race cars, from F1 to League Racing. With live stream on Fridays and full releases on Mondays, our content is high octane, so lock your derriere into your cherriere and enjoy the ride.
Back again. This is episode 2. And in case you guys haven't listened to episode 1, there's a very real good reason for that, is because episode 1 hasn't gone out yet. Memorial Day weekend got to me. If you're not American, then you can probably not understand why this hasn't gone out. But if you are American and you're still upset that episode 1 is getting aired after episode 2, then you got bigger issues. My name is Adam Thompson. I am joined by Eric Leitsky, Jesse Olson, and God, the one and the only, the most amazing mace of the planet, Justin Hall. And we've got some things to talk about tonight. But before we get to that, Eric, how's your week been?
Oh, man, it's been a fantastic week. I'm super glad that we're back here doing this. It was a nice short week, the Memorial Day weekend. It's always a long week waiting to get back with the boys.
No, I was thinking about this. I was driving to work at 5 o'clock this morning. I was like, oh my God, I just got to make it through 9 more hours of work. And I have got the boys on the podcast for what's hoping to be an hour and a half, but we'll probably go more like 2.5 hours if it was
Easy.
anything like last week. Jesse, how you been, man? What's new in the life of the cameraless Jesse Olson?
Yeah, sorry. We'll get a camera. We'll get a camera going here. It's either that or I do it from the MacBook.
Mysterious.
I know. It's either I do it from the MacBook, and then it looks like I'm in a Zoom meeting, and then I do enough Zoom meetings throughout the week, man. The last thing I want is another one. No, it's been a good week. It was a short week. It's that time of year where motorsports is popping off and special events are around. A lot of good stuff to talk about, man.
We will get to that. I promise you we'll get to that. But before we get to that, I got to ask the most beautiful person in this broadcast, or in this podcast, how he's doing.
Don't talk to yourself like that. Don't ask yourself questions. What?
He was talking to the dog, Justin.
Speaking in third person
true,
now.
True,
Speaking in third person.
How you doing, Jay Hall? What you been up to this week?
Oh, man, good. I'm good. If any of y'all caught up with our races this week, we just closed out. Big shout out, by the way, to Osborne Motorsport Endurance Challenge. Sudi ran with their league here this past season and up on the podium here. Jesse, what'd you get? Third place. We got Jake in second, and we got the Sudi team, Sudi Blue, closing out the lead there for the overall team championship. So iRacing's been good. Life's been good. No complaints over here.
I will say that I am a bit impartial to the man, Jake Luther, because he is going to be commentating on the broadcast that I have started back up again. By the way, slow motion broadcasting is going again after about 1.5 years. We got to talk about it. We'll take mine first. I saw on Facebook yesterday, Stewart Haas Racing is closing their doors at the end of this season, which, first of all, opens up 3 cars for NASCAR.
4 cars.
4 cars. Yeah, you're
Sure
right.
does.
They do have 4 in NASCAR. The big question is, what is that going to do for F1? Is it Stewart? Is it Haas? Is Haas closing his doors because he's done? There are so many questions that I've got no answers to, but I'm going to open up the floor. Let me know what you guys think. What does this mean for F1?
Man, okay, so I'm going to take this because I'm excited to jump on this. All right. It could be really spicy, right? Because Gene Haas has looked at F1 as a total money-making venture, right? Like, they don't need to win. The value of having a team is increasing every year just by having a team on the grid. There's more and more people wanting to get into F1. That demand is there. And we've seen it's not easy to get a new team into F1. Now would be a really good time for Haas to make an exit, but they just make so much money just by being there. I don't know. I could maybe see an Andretti, Haas, Cadillac, somewhat of a partnership. I think that would be a really good situation that would make all parties happy, to be totally honest. But I don't know. I can see the fact that Tony Stewart's getting a little older. Maybe he wants to shift his focus on a different series, maybe another part.
Dirt racing.
I mean,
he's
drag
always
racing.
been more of a dirt racer. Like that's where his bread and butter is. And even when he was racing in the big times with the cup cars and stuff, he would always go back and race dirt cars on the off weekend. So then
Remember, his dirt league is shut down right now. The SRX league. That was his league, right?
It was, yeah.
Oh,
he's the one
yeah,
that started
that's true,
that.
actually. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
So
That's
they
a really
ran
good
that
point.
for what, 2 or 3 seasons, and they shut it down. But he said it was coming back.
Mhm.
And he owns that one of the racetracks that's on the schedule. Was it I can't remember the name. It's not Odessa, is it? Oh gosh, I should know what track he owns. But yeah, he has that going on. He's totally into drag racing right now.
Yeah.
He's
Really?
all in on drag. Yeah, he's all in on drag racing right now. It's all, we're outsiders, right? We don't know what the conversation and the temperature is in the room between him and Gene and the other partners and people. Maybe he's just focused on other things and time to get out while they can.
One thing I want to add real quick is I don't know if Gene would go through the trouble of getting rid of Gunther just for 1 year to shut the door. You know what I mean? That
And they're
seems
on
like
the
a
up.
weird.
As weird as it seems to say, they're on the up.
They're doing well. They're doing very well. It's a shame for them that they're losing Hulkenberg. K-Mag is driving like a pissed off teenager, but I love it.
Do too.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Guy is a wrecking ball.
He raced
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton, the dirtiest I've ever seen an F1 driver race ever in
beautiful.
Miami. And I loved it. I am a massive, you can almost see the Mercedes flag hanging above my Purdue flag back there. But I am a freaking diehard Mercedes fan, and to watch K-Mag race like that was insane. But sorry, we can go back to the Gene Haas issue at stake.
It's a Gene Haas issue right there. I mean, K-Mag's looking at a race ban. Who do we think is going to replace him for that race?
Well,
Not yet. If they haven't given him a penalty this close after Monaco, he's not. But he's still only one race away. So this weekend, or not this weekend.
It's any given weekend at this point.
Yeah, he's pretty much. I don't think it's an if. I think it's a win, right?
It's a win. It's a win because he's just driving like he doesn't care.
But on the flip side, Hulkenberg scoring points,
Hulkenberg is
and the
doing
team
well.
is in a points position they're in from where they've been in the basement, the worst team. To move up 3 spots is a lot for that team,
big
money
time.
wise, and so I don't see Gene going anywhere. But I mean, you could couple this conversation speculation with what I think was Dominicale. I can't remember who said it. That basically told Andretti he needs to buy a team. So
I mean, that's what Audi did, and Audi has even more money than Cadillac and Andretti combined, right? So, like, if Audi has to do that, like, come on, man. He's a very legendary name in racing, and Cadillac is really big too, and they're very successful. But so is Audi, man. Like, Audi is ubiquitous with endurance winning. If anyone would want to have a manufacturer join and look for someone to add value to the sport, it'd be Audi. But they're still buying a team instead of buying their way in raw. Like, that to me is a statement. And I think Andretti should consider something like that. But then again, you have to have a team that's actually for sale.
Yeah, I think that's the thing right now. Nobody's got a team for. There's no for sale sign on the front doors.
To rise.
Otherwise, everything's for sale at the right price. That's the old saying. Just got to be the right price. What's he gonna have to do? Spend a fortune? I don't like that aspect of it, but I don't know what I don't know that the dominoes falling from NASCAR are gonna reach all the way to F1. If they do, that's wild. I don't know if that's gonna have much effect on the F1 game. I think Haas is staying in. I think they're staying in as Haas. I don't think they're going to have an interest in an Andretti partnership. As great as it sounds on the surface, I would want that too, because that seems like somewhat logical sense. And then you have two American teams, so American as Haas is, considering they operate base primarily overseas. But yeah, it sounds like a match, but I don't really see it happening.
This is why we've got somebody for now that I actually enjoy that doesn't really know much about this. Jay Hall, give me your unadulterated freaking, I don't know anything about
as a filthy
F1
casual
or Stuart Haas or Gene Haas. What do you think? What does this mean to you as an F1 racer? Or
as an F1 racer?
Driver.
Wow.
Driver.
I haven't
My
announced
God.
I am actually being picked up next season.
You're replacing K-Mag for one race.
No, he's replacing Sargent. They're taking one Florida man, replacing him with another Florida man. I don't know how he's going to fit in the car, though.
No, a 260-pound man. I'm like a quarter
Can you
of
see
an
just
F1.
J Hall's arms just hanging
I
out
would-
the freaking halo when he's
I
trying
would
to
pay to see an F1 car that
Oh
was
my
made
God.
to fit Justin. It
I
would be
wouldn't survive.
wacky looking.
I wouldn't survive. No.
I seem to remember a video that you Sudi boys put up of you, Eric, and you,
Was it-
Justin, in the car at the same time doing a track
Oh, yeah.
day. That
Yeah.
was it was like fitting.
That was a whole lot of men in a car.
That was
That was in
something
the
else.
Hyundai, right?
For the listeners, Justin and I are both 6'4", over 200 pounds. Like we just don't fit in things that normal people fit in.
They drive Miatas.
Yeah, Miatas, my leg is literally stuck up against the steering wheel. It makes me sad. I love those cars. I still drive them.
Yeah, back to the original
Yes.
question. As a filthy casual, like you said, this is my first season ever really getting into F1, watching motorsport after just really being a gearhead and a fan of cars my whole life. I'm huge into sim racing. This made sense, and I can't believe I wasn't doing it sooner. But I almost see Haas, and it's like when money's not really an object, like what do they have to lose? Has Haas ever seen a win? Have they ever seen a podium? That's a legit. I
Oh,
don't
no.
know.
No, they haven't. No, they
No,
haven't.
they never have.
They do
They're
have a
happy
pole.
to score
They-
points.
They do
They-
have
they-
a pole.
Hold on. Have they
Okay.
ever had a
Okay, but-
podium during a sprint race?
I don't think so.
Honestly,
There's some
I don't think
obscure.
so.
It's like Shaq making a 3-pointer. There's one obscure.
No, like Shaq making
uh,
a free throw. I think we need to fact check that live really quick. You guys can carry on with the conversation. I need to make sure that this is a thing.
What are you fact checking here, Eric?
Has Haas ever podiumed?
No, there's not a chance in hell. They've only been here for what, since 2016? There's no way. They've always been a back marker.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Just to confirm, this is fact. They have never had a podium.
What is their
Haas's
highest finish?
best finishing position?
Yeah, now we got
Okay,
to
that's a
want to
great.
know.
Actually, that's a great question.
See, that should be in like the little game at the end of this. That's
Yeah.
the perfect type question to.
And that's what pisses me off, Justin, is when
I'm
we
gonna say they
talk
got a
about
fifth.
stuff. When we talk about
okay.
stuff. Okay, Eric, what is it?
All right. Okay. Guess the driver. How about this? Let's have some fun with it.
Romain
Guess the
Grosjean.
driver.
Oh no, Grosjean. Yeah, Grosjean raced
Okay.
for Haas.
So
Yeah,
you guess Grosjean.
I have a Grosjean Haas shirt. It's sad.
Yeah. Okay. So do you also guess Grosjean, Jesse?
Hang on a second. Who drove for them? Grosjean drove for a few years. K-Mag drove before it came back.
Yep.
And Mazepin
Mick.
never did anything.
Mazepin.
As a spin. I forgot about
Yeah.
him.
K-Mag
Horrible.
came back. Mick. No, I'm going to say it was Romain. Got a fifth.
Okay. What do you think, Justin?
Damn, that's crazy. Because obviously I have no leg to stand on who the driver was. I'm
Yeah,
just going to
that's even
piggyback
better.
off of you motherfuckers. But if they didn't get a podium,
How about this? Justin,
I feel like it is in the ballpark.
Be the
of fifth,
wild
but I'm just
card.
going to say sixth, just to Price is
say
Right.
say someone else. Say a different Haas driver. You
I see
can't
that. I
say
have no
Grosjean.
fucking clue. This is my first season following F1. You think I'm going to... Why would I start following Haas? This
pick
is my
one of
first
the-
season watching F1, and I'm like, you know what? These
Pick
Haas
one of the
guys-
current drivers. Pick one of the current drivers. Either one of them. You have a 50%
I don't even
chance.
have any of them on my fantasy team.
Okay, so it was
Unless you're
definitely K-
wrong.
it was definitely
the only thing I
K-Mag.
can guess is I'm just going to guess sixth place. Yeah. And-
No, it was Hulkenberg, 7th
Whoa.
place
Oh, so it was
this year.
Oh, get out.
Oh, damn! You were leading me into a victory, and I didn't even see it.
I was
was
trying.
That, was that in Saudi Arabia that he did that?
The Australian Grand Prix. You got
Oh,
7th.
Australia. That's not
That's
even
their best
K-Mag was running
finish.
blocker for him.
And
Max
they're
blew
losing
up.
that guy. They're losing him to Audi, to Sauber.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
man. That was fun.
All right.
I'm glad we did that.
That was good. That was good. So we're gonna move on before we take our first break here. We've basically decided that Andretti's gonna buy Haas. Audi has already bought Kick, Sauber,
Steak.
Steak, whatever team you want to call them at this point. So yeah, we're saying next year there will be 2 new teams on the grid. Maybe not next year. I don't know what Gene Haas is gonna do. I really don't understand him, but whatever. What do we want to go to next here? We're going to leave your topic, Eric, for a little while later because that one is going to take up a whole segment by itself.
I concur.
Jesse, we
We could
have
probably run it back from the break, and that would
right.
take us clear.
Run it back
Yeah,
6 times from Sunday. Yeah.
Easily.
Jesse, we've got plenty of time here, and I'm going to turn this one over to you and let you do some chit-chatting and ask some questions here because I know absolutely. I'm not going to say nothing. I do love GT3 race cars. Nürburgring 24 hours coming up this weekend. I'll watch it. I know nothing about it. What do you think, Jesse? The floor is yours.
So Nürburgring 24. I've followed a lot of series for a long time, but I have not really ever gotten into it. I don't know, until maybe a couple years ago. It's crazy. There's only a handful of 24-hour races, right? We got Daytona, Legendary, and that's IMSA cars, right? We get Le Mans, Legendary, WEC focused. Currently, right now, we got 24 hours of Spa. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And that's GT3 only. And then you got Nürburgring, the most massivest track, barely called track. It's a road in some places. But
Right. It
it's
is a road
technically
for
is,
most
yeah.
of the year.
Yeah. And then they put, I have even looked at the classing for this thing. There's classes that go, I don't even know the raw number because I'm not that big a fan. I think there's something like 14 classes.
Yeah, so I was
14 these classes.
Here's what I do know. The GT3s are the top dogs.
Okay.
And they are, so the classes start SP1 and go up to SP8. And those classes are strictly like a horsepower spec.
Jesse, did they
class.
get rid of SP9 this year?
No,
Or is it-
SP9 is GT3.
Okay.
I believe SP10 is GT4. I may be mistaken on this. I have to go back and look. I already forgot it all, what I read before. Then you have an experimental class. And then you have an alternative fuel or source fuel. So then you get electric cars and all sorts of crazy drivetrains and things like that class. You can have GT3 cars running next to, I don't know if you've seen the picture of the Dacia that's out there this year.
Saw
like
that.
the little hatchback, the
Yeah,
front wheel
it's-
drive thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
How was that? Like you could just see like you could see an
But at
E36
night-
320 out there running
Can you imagine
around
the
with a
closing
GT3
speed?
car.
With the headlights. Like, that's got to be
It's
absolutely
bonkers.
fucking insane.
It's
I have.
bonkers.
Didn't know this.
Oh, I know nothing about
Lights
N24. I'm just excited.
are
For
a
it.
thing at the Nürburgring 24. They put that on the top 30 qualifiers. And no, this is not a trivia question. I thought about putting it in there, and I should have. But they put it on the top 30 qualifiers. So when you've got that Dacia and you see the headlights in the rearview mirror, they can see a very bright flashing blue light on the windshield of one of the top 30 qualifiers coming up behind them. So they know that that car is way faster than that Dacia will be.
Could
get
you
those in
imagine just one of
iRacing?
us out there pretty much in our street cars doing laps around Nürburgring? In the middle of the night, and here just comes a gang of GT3s blasting by you. I would crap myself.
Yeah, but think about the rush of that. Like that would be unbeatable. You know,
No, I don't
wanna
All the
die.
things you could do.
I don't
yeah,
wanna die.
you didn't die after all that. That would be pretty incredible.
I don't know.
Well, I-
Sometimes when your life isn't in your own hands, when the other driver, that's when it's like
Yeah, that's true. That's
Oh.
true. Because Jesus
Oh.
could take the wheel at that point. You could just point it straight. They do whatever.
Jesus could take your soul at that point.
That's true. That's true. I saw a clip. I can't remember who the driver was, but they went to pass someone on the Nürburgring at night. They took the grass. It was a 911 GT3, and he spun it right in front of a Mercedes GT3 car. As he was spinning it, the Mercedes just swiped right in front of him. So like the car spun and like it like almost touched, but like he passed by, and it was all because it was like I couldn't tell what it was, but something really low horsepower was in the way. He went around it. It just didn't pay off. And, oh man, I was thinking like how much chaos it is already just driving that track on a good day. And then you add the fact that it's nighttime. Such a crazy closing speed with these cars. Oh man.
And let's
There's a
not.
reason they
weather
call it the
conditions,
I was
greenhouse.
going to say, let's not
Has
forget
anyone seen
about.
weather?
No,
It's
I
supposed to
haven't.
Good
rain
point.
the whole time.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
rain.
They're saying
in-
don't even get out the slicks. They're saying
They're
they're
in
going to run
Germany.
wets. So they're
That's
saying they're running
crazy.
wets for the next 24 hours. They're saying it's going to be
That's
pretty
sketchy.
nasty.
Sketchy.
Man.
So like, how could you not watch this? This is like a train wreck in the making.
Wait, we all know, like, let's be honest with ourselves. We all love very close finishes and wrecks. Even if you are a massive race fan, we all like very close
We don't want
finishes
anyone
and
to get
wrecks.
hurt. We don't want anyone to get hurt.
Well,
but-
sometimes I might, but it just depends on if the person at fault gets hurt. I was like, well, he deserved
Okay.
that. But
Okay. Okay.
other than that,
Okay.
but yeah, I am super stoked now for this as well, Jesse. I'm going golfing tomorrow at 8:20 in the morning. but I can tell you what I'm doing for the rest of the day. I've got, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a detour here before our first break. I have a phone holder on top of my lawnmower, okay, my push mower. There's an actual phone holder. So when I get home tomorrow, I got to mow my grass. And I'm going to be watching the Nürburgring 24 while I mow my grass. If that doesn't give you dad status without being a dad, I don't know what does.
Thought you were about to say you were going to flip the camera on and
You're
start
doing
a
it right.
live stream.
We can only hope. That's some
I'd
wishful
watch
thinking right there.
Some dads mowing grass. That could be the next OnlyFans. Like,
That's
I've
true.
got white New
No.
Balances too.
don't
I'm getting there. And I'm
that's hit me
golfing.
too hard there.
I'm golfing in the morning. Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know, Eric. You just got to get into golfing. You're going to be the daddiest of, and Jesse.
That's
You guys
true.
are going
That's
to be
true.
the daddiest of dads ever.
I have some golf experiences, golf story, and here's what I can summarize that as. I should not be playing golf.
Is it because of the alcohol or just because you're that bad at golf?
I am just that bad. The damage I do to the greens, I am a liability on the golf course. And to the houses that are around it, all of that. So if you're playing golf in a pasture, it's probably the only good scenario.
Well, I love how we've gone from Nürburgring 24 to golfing. And on that, sorry, Jeremy Clarkson, bombshell, we're going to go ahead and end this segment of the show. We will be back for the second segment. We got Eric going to be coming in here talking about some stuff, and I know Justin's going to love it. So, yeah, let's get back here and talk about iRacing. We are back after the first break. The middle parts of this break for you live viewers will get better, I promise. Speaking of live viewers, we've got one. Goes by the name of Bradley Alvis. Bradley, how have you been, my man, first of all? And second of all, you need to get on this damn podcast. This is our second episode, like I've said.
Kind of.
Our
best.
Yeah,
This is
our
our
Already
first
know the
release.
first one hasn't come out yet.
yeah, the first one, I'm still editing the first one. It may be next year by the time I get the first one out, let's be honest here. But
At
we're
least we
doing
did
much
it.
better. We're doing much better on the second one. So yeah, Bradley, get back in here, man. We'd love to hear how you been. I miss you, even though you were in the Navy, which is, come on, bro. Of all the branches, and Eric was in the Army. Never mind. We're not getting into military branches. It was
Hey,
just
at
Memorial
least I
Day.
wasn't in the leggy.
Yeah. Oh, God. Anyways, moving on, we have got another interesting topic. Eric, I'll start it off, and then I'll let you take it over. So we were chatting today before we started the podcast, and he goes, what I'm bringing to the pits tonight is iRacing seeing its most popular age at a time when the car, as we know, is dying.
Yep.
Oh, no, it was just racing.
And not
It's
even just
oh.
iRacing. Yeah, just racing in general. And so the reason why I bring this topic to the table, and you as the listener, I'd love to hear your opinions, whether you leave a comment, send an email, whatever it may be.
Shameless
I
plug.
want to hear your experience because,
Carrier pigeon.
man, I've been going to races ever since I was a small kid. I've been very fortunate. I had a father who was into motorsports, and he would show us these races. And man, up until like maybe 5-10 years ago, you could show up to a race day of, buy a ticket, and there's no one around. Everyone has no idea how great this show is that's going on. And now, every single year for the past, I'd say 7 to 8 years, it's been incrementally growing in a way that is not sustainable. People are finally realizing that there is some amazing spectacles to watching racing in real life. And they're cars that, of course, they're modified, and different classes are modified even more to the extent of others. But I think that spirit of racing is almost coming back because that many people coming to spend that much time out in the heat,
In Florida.
crowded with that many other people, spending a ton of money on concessions. Like, food is not cheap. Like, you can't park anywhere. It's not convenient, guys. But people are turning out in mass groves. And I think that's a huge statement on where the spirit of racing and cars are. Like, people are not ready for them to die, especially the internal combustion engine, because I don't know about anyone else here, But one of my favorite parts about being at a race in person is the sounds. Because you hear it on TV,
God.
but it's not the same. In person, you hear the extra pops, the bangs, like the little, like the finesse of it, right? And when people go in person,
Brad's
they're
roasting
enamored.
in the chat.
Oh, hold on.
Or
The
how
mic was
guttural it can be.
my mic was muted, so my yeah. So there we go. The live stream hasn't heard any of this.
Redo
But-
it all. You got to redo all of it now, Eric.
I don't know if I can redo any of it.
Why did we do this live?
Hey, you know what? Hey, sorry
Oh,
for the live
man.
viewers. You saw it. I was going on a tirade. But yeah, so the gist of the tirade there was that, yeah, people are coming out to races in groves now. Like, I've never seen such high attendance for any race. And I've been going to Daytona since.
How packed was Daytona this year? Nuts. It was bonkers.
Dude, it was absolutely bonkers. And I can't remember the first year I went, but I was single digit age year. I'm in my 30s right now. And man, up until my mid 20s, man, like you could show up day of, get a camping pass, walk wherever you wanted to. You could get infield camping almost day of, not that long ago. Now, bro,
It's like year before.
yeah, even the year before, I don't think you can get infield camping because they allow you to purchase your tickets again and like you get first right of refusal. Like people know what a value that is now. And they'll either hold on to it and sell it privately for 2-3x the cost because you see that now. Or they're just going to go because it's such a great spectacle. So yeah, the long and short of my thing is racing. People are now seeing what a spectacle it is because whatever the case may be, they're now seeing this and it's, I don't know, is this reviving the internal combustion engine? Is this bringing the spirit back into it? Because the biggest thing I said when I was muted, you guys all heard, but for the live viewers, is the sound, right?
Yes.
We see it in F1 now. It's not the same as it used to be. If you were an F1 fan 10 years ago, you heard the V8s. Those V8s, there's never, ever been anything like it. And there's never going to be anything like it. That shrill,
It's sad.
like, it was
If you
incredible.
can
You,
find-
felt that in your chest. And oh man, I got to see those cars in Indy and there's nothing like it. And that in
You
person.
could find a Ferrari clientele day.
Yeah.
I went to a Ferrari clientele day when I was up in Georgia at Road Atlanta, which was amazing. And there was a V8 and a V10 classic F1 car.
Oh man. So you got to hear
And
it in
they did
person.
laps.
It's incredible, right?
And even just one of them coming down, and we were down in the paddock area. Road Atlanta is like turn 7 that launches you onto the backstretch, comes all the way down, right? So the minute they got them at the top of the hill on turn 7, you heard those cars.
It's like
Just
just
the one-
shrill,
the
right?
reverberation.
Just the one car. I could not imagine 20 of them.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. I have hearing
Absolutely
loss
glorious.
from being in the Army, and
You joined
even
the wrong branch, but anyways.
But even with that, I was like, okay, this hurts my ears. Like I need some hearing protection. But it was incredible, and I didn't want it because you felt it in your chest too. And I don't
Sure.
know. Like I said, there's just nothing like it. And I think the secret's out on that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I got to get in here. So I was born and raised in Terre Haute, Indiana, guys. And as Terre Haute, Indiana is very close to Indianapolis. And in Indianapolis, there are quite a few races that happen at that racetrack. The most
Couple.
famed one is the Indy 500. I would say right behind that might be the Brickyard, which is now not the Brickyard. It's the Allstate 400 or whatever the hell they call it, but that doesn't matter. So you've got two very popular oval races there, which I've been to many times. And then you've got the Indy Road Course, and you had F1 that ran there. You've got, I know they have an endurance race there, Jesse. What's it? Is it the 12 hours or the 8 hours?
They're doing, I believe, 6 hours there this
6
year
hours.
for
So-
the first time with IMSA, that makes a 5th endurance race, which
Yeah.
is very cool.
So I grew up on basketball and racing. Those are the two things that I grew up on. My dad
America.
was never right. Yeah, that's Midwest for you. My dad was never a huge fan of me racing, which is why I'm not racing cars right now, and I'm stuck here virtually racing with guys that I never mind. I'm not going to get emotional, but anyways, so moving on, we're going to go to when I moved down to Phoenix. I joined the Air Force did not like what I was doing in Indiana, left, and I met my now wife, my girlfriend at the time, back in 2015, I believe. And we went to her first ever race, and it was the IndyCar race at Phoenix, at the Phoenix Oval.
Oh,
and
man.
She just went absolutely nuts. I was like, Sarah, like, it's going to be loud. It's just going to be one of those things. You got to deal with it. And we got there. I was like, you're going to need these. And I gave her earplugs. She said, no, I'm fine. So I put mine in before they started. She didn't put hers in. And this was at the old track, by the way. And
Oh, man.
that first lap, I was like, okay, here's the deal. Listen to the first lap. Listen to when the green flag drops and then put those things in. She dropped them. She dropped her earplugs because the noise, just the absolute rumble, the noise of those cars was so loud, and she couldn't get them back. And I like had to give her I had actual earphone or ear head protection, and I gave it to her. I was like, you take that, I can deal with it. And I just finger plugged my ears. But moving on to 2021, we went to the finale, the Phoenix race in the NASCAR. And I was like, and it was the new track at the time. Maybe it was 2022. They had just redone the track. So we're sitting on the exit of turn 2. And I was like, you're going to wear your earplugs this time? And she goes, no, I'll be okay. I want you guys to know something. I know we're not talking about NASCAR.
How many
We're just
years
talking
later
about-
was this?
That was 16 to 2022. I can't do math. 6 years? 7
Okay.
years?
I'm saying, but there was no lesson learned. Is
No lesson learned.
the crux
No,
of this.
7 years
Okay.
later. 7 years later, we go to the NASCAR race. I was like, you're going to want these. They had just put the new type of car in, which basically the exhaust dumped out right behind the front axles. And it was
Hell yeah,
loud. And those are
As it
V8.
should.
Those are 350s. They're V8s. Like, those things are insane. So
Sounds
was
like
like,
high
you
school
wanna-
for me.
right? Yeah. I had a 1972 El Camino that I just cut the headers off, and I went straight to the back of the car. Let's be honest.
86
That's what you
Camaro,
want.
same deal.
Yeah. Anyways, first lap, and those Indy cars, those things were loud. Those NASCARs, those stock cars, V8 350s, those things were obnoxious. You had to hold if you put your beer on the ground or on the in the
rumbled.
grandstands, it would rattle off. It's gone. It's gone. You
I'm
had
imagining
to hold those things.
Talladega Nights.
The
Feel
vibrations.
Yeah. Pre-restrictor day or pre-restrictor plate days, that was legit.
Yeah.
After the restrictor plate, it subdued it so much. I couldn't
It
believe it.
did. It
But
really
to your
did.
point, can you imagine that with EVs? None of that.
No,
None of the
exactly.
audio. None of the reverb. None of the fucking
I'm
visceral
not going
nature.
to a Formula
Just
E
a bunch
race. But it's
Yeah.
tire squealing.
It's all
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Just
do.
your tire squealing.
Yeah, the sounds are what do it.
Unless
it really
it's
is.
artificial. Like you'll hear that in some of did you watch Misha's newest video and that the Hyundai? The
Oh, yeah.
Ioniq?
Yeah,
It had like a little tone to
whir.
the interior. I'm like,
yeah.
it was
That's not bad.
artificial, and that's the route we're going though. Like
If you've
I
heard the
take what we can
Tesla
get.
plaid engines, they have
Oh,
a really
stop
high
it.
pitch.
Stop it. Stop. We're not talking about Teslas in this. We're not.
I agree.
What are you doing?
I agree.
doing?
And you know what? Hold on. I'm going to redeem myself because something I didn't reiterate to the live listeners. I was muted when I said this. We want a response from you on this. The premise of this whole, Adam set it up, but we want to hear from you guys. Like, what's your experience with live action racing? Is it way more packed than you ever remember it being?
I know.
And
It's fucked
what do
up.
you think that means for the future of cars?
So
Are we go backwards on electric cars? I personally think the happy place we're going to arrive to is a hybrid vehicle where it has electric and internal combustion engine.
Shut up. Stop it.
And now
No,
let's keep
no, we're
going.
not.
Sorry.
No, we're not. I've got 2 points that I forgot to mention in the first point. Is I looked up the attendance for the Daytona 2024 this year.
Oh, dude,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The
please
attendance
tell
for
me.
the Daytona 2024 this year, 2 times the amount of people went to the D24 as they did the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, wow. No way.
2 times.
I told you it
No
was packed.
way.
It's
Look,
nuts.
that's a number right there.
I want you to think about that. The fact that we've got this electric car age now, And 2 times the people, yes, it's a 4-day event compared to a 4-hour event, basically. But still, 2 times the amount of people showed up to Daytona than they did to Glendale, Arizona for what is the new American pastime of football. So, yeah, cars are insane. And I think a lot of people are realizing that now because, like you mentioned, all of the cars that we grew up with. I mean, I was born in 92, but I had a 72 El Camino. And the noise of that car, there's only one reason I wish I didn't move to Nevada, and it was for the fact that I had to sell that damn car. Like, that car and the noise of it, every time I'd get in, it would just give you, and my wife loved riding in it too. She loved just the noise. It wasn't that fast. It was a stock 350. And
It's
stock
probably really slow, to be honest. But the fucking noise.
The
is
noise.
Just, yeah.
Yes.
Your chest hair grows just a little bit. Like,
it does. Yeah.
you start sounding like Tim Allen on Home Improvement. Just
other things grow as well. It's not just the chest hair that
depends how
grows.
much it vibrates. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's-
When you
check your motor mounts.
Oh, man.
I can tell you the motor mounts were broken too, because every time I'd step on it, I had a four on the floor. The whole transmission would rock to the driver's side. So I know that the motor mounts were not as they should have been.
Listen, I love you for saying 4 on the floor too.
Yep.
Because what's up? Because if you didn't have 4 on the floor, you had 3 on the tree.
Mm-hmm. I
And
never had
I drove a 3 on the tree.
never
3 on the
owned
tree
something
would be
on the
terrible.
tree.
I had almost the exact same thing happen with my Camaro. I was ripping it first, second one day because if I ripped it hard enough from first to second, I could chirp the tires. And one day it sounded like I ripped a Coke can, and all of a sudden my shifter bobbed up and down. Like every time I took off, bro, is that the noise?
That's the
noise?
That's the
and
noise.
you ripped a Coke can, right? It
You
also
don't
like,
want that.
boy. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
It's too funny, right?
So now we're getting into real car talk here, and I love it.
Yep.
So in my El Camino,
So much passion.
I had a manual clutch, right? No slave cylinder, nothing. It was just a spring-loaded clutch onto the ear that went straight in to the, help me out here, Eric, the throwout bearing.
Yep.
So I was messing with it because the clutch was super duper spongy. Like I had to go 50% before it would actually allow me to shift. So I messed with the spring a little bit. And so I'm driving it. I'm going to pick up my then girlfriend. This was back in 2016. And this is the first time I'm picking her up in my El Camino, my baby. Our first date was in my grandpa's 2005 Dodge Ram because I did not want her
Hell
to
yeah,
think
brother.
that I was some piece of crap
Get up in
driving
there.
a 1972 El
Was it
Camino
lifted?
that had, no, it was just a stock, dude.
1500?
My 1500. My grandpa's
Okay.
Dodge Ram, he still owns to this day. That thing has 350,000 miles, original engine, original transmission.
Which
that
motor
thing-
was in it?
That's
Diesel?
incredible.
Was it diesel?
No, it was a
The-
Laramie. It was just a
What year? What was it? One more time?
2005.
Oh,
Was it
wow.
like a
Okay.
5.7 in that or something? I don't know. I don't know.
That was a tough year. They were still like making stuff to last, but they were running
Yeah.
out of money at that point.
But anyways, back to my story, and then I'll let
Yeah.
you guys keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, drove up for our second date in the El Camino. It was the middle of summer. It was July.
Going.
It was July in Phoenix, guys. July in Phoenix. Drive up. It's freaking 7 o'clock at night, and it's got to be 105 degrees outside right now. And I mean, I have a towel on the back seat because it was black, not leather, but whatever the hell leather
Pleather.
was.
Pleather.
Yeah, pleather.
Yeah.
It was black pleather. I had a
Pleather.
black dashboard. It was silver and black. Like the thing would not. Yeah, about Jesse's Corvette and Camaro that we're going to talk about here in a second.
Oh,
because
yes.
that
He
is-
had a catfish.
Oh, God. Anyways.
Wait, no, that's not the catfish. The next gen was the catfish.
So anyways,
same gen body update. But anyways, we'll get there.
Yep.
we're
yep.
pulling out. We're pulling out of her apartment complex, and I hit the gas, and I swear to God, we stop at the next red light. She turns to me. She goes, "I love you." I was like, game over.
Damn.
If that doesn't say what petrol
Damn.
or gasoline powered V8s do for your love
It's
life,
true.
What? Yeah.
I'm done.
He did the stare and drive on you, didn't he?
He learned that from me. Okay, so
That's my move.
before we move on, Adam, what would you argue that a V8 or a well-executed handbrake turn is more attractive to a woman? Which
A
one?
V8. I was born and raised in Indiana, dude. Don't even get me on. Don't even start me with these well-executed handbrake turns that all these freaking high schoolers did in a parking lot back in the. Who cares if you can pull a handbrake?
Hold
Whatever.
on. Are we
That's a
uncovering
Jeremy
some kind of
Clarkson thing to
jealousy?
me.
Yeah, 100%. That's where I got that from.
No, well-executed handbrake turns have nothing on just the sheer emotion, noise.
They're different worlds to me.
They really are.
I agree.
They really
I
are.
like.
agree.
If you could have both,
Yeah, why not both?
why not?
Why not both?
Why
That's a
not
great
both?
meme. Insert meme here. Live viewers, just picture it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We mean
I'm
well.
telling you, just the sheer power.
Mhm.
This is the absolute. Just can't get too political here, but this is the American coming out in me.
America.
This is the
Tell you
American
what,
coming out. in me.
V8s.
It's how I'm going to
V-
describe a lot of things moving
I ate a
forward.
cheeseburger last night. We're
This is the
American.
American coming out of me, but
Can I make a V8 segue?
Brr, you sure can.
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse.
We're getting 2 new V8s this upcoming iRacing season.
hell yeah, the Corvette and the Mustang.
That's
and
true.
the Mustang.
The freedom is raining upon iRacing.
All
Like,
sorts of
we heard
America,
bald
but
eagles in
this
the
bitch.
distance, just a chirping.
It's
You
true.
know what? I may not have the money to buy that Corvette in iRacing, but I'm buying it.
Mhm.
I'm a Chevy man. I owned an El Camino. I own.
Yeah. How do you feel about the
2018
Mustang?
Adam, how about let
Ford.
let
Oh,
Sudi?
I'm not supposed to say that word. I'm sorry, but
I'll
yes.
1v1 you, and if I lose in the Mustang, I'll buy you the Vet.
No, even better.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I vote Sudi sponsors your freedom. You can have both cars. We will pay for it
Okay.
because
Make him earn it,
with
though. I'm
Sudi-
saying he's got to earn it.
no,
This
he's-
is true American values. He's got to fucking earn it.
he's gonna
Out of
earn
it.
it. He's gonna earn it afterwards. But Sudi will sponsor
Afterwards.
your
That's
freedom.
the real American way. I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Listen,
On the
freedom
in the
isn't
back
free.
channels,
Exactly. The freedom isn't free.
It costs $1.05.
Exactly.
costs about
But you
$1.05.
get paid first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Boot camp. If you've been in the service, like Adam and I both have, how many times did we get paid before we did shit? He's thinking
You were
about it
at a-
because it's more than one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
We
you were
will
in the
sponsor
Army,
your
so
freedom.
fair
Oh,
enough, fair
okay.
enough.
I see where you're going with that. All right. Bravo. Touche.
I got paid before I went to basic training. I don't know about you, but yeah.
No, man.
Adam,
I
I
should have.
think you just
no reason.
witnessed that I have a loyalty, obviously, via some chats that are happening.
I know. I
Did
see
you-
a Chevy Corvette. I see a Chevy Camaro. I have
I'm
a El
with you.
Camino. I have a Chevy Cruze and a Chevy Colorado now.
I'll be the first one to say that Ford GT3 car in real life
Incredible.
sounds amazing. It might be the best sounding GT3 car in the grid right now.
Which one? The Mustang?
Mustang.
Mustang.
The Mustang.
It does sound.
They're running it out to 8,500 RPMs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How do you run a
It
V8 out
sounds-
to 8,500 RPMs though without blowing it? Like,
With
It
a
almost
flat
has
plane
that,
crank.
like, that
That rod
European
should
almost
be-
sound to it. It's
Exactly.
got finesse to it.
that's
Because
not
it
what
has
you
a
want,
flat plane
though.
crank. The
It
flat
sounds
plane
like the
crank is what
Mustang
lets you
went
do
to
it.
college. It's a little. It was a little high school backyard rebel, and now Mustangs
Maybe
are getting a
community
little
college,
refined.
but it went to college.
If I
But
took
listen-
my El,
College.
if I took my
Well
if I
said,
took my El
Jesse.
Camino to 5,000 RPMs, I was shooting a rod straight to Mars. Like it's
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
It is absolutely out of this earth.
Hey, the NASCAR boys live at $9,000 all day, so you know this
Well,
Adam better
I
than
mean-
anybody
Yeah, but
that
that's
you can make
different.
a V8 live there.
That's
All right,
different.
Eric, tell me why that Mustang can run to 8,500 RPMs.
All right,
you
so-
mentioned it.
Yeah. So
break-
listen, Ford finally was like, okay, we want to show up and we want to actually win races, right? Like we know we sound good and we know people like us. But we want to actually win. So they looked at what are the Europeans doing? And the reason why all European V8s sound different than American V8s is they have that flat plane crank. And what that means is the crank, instead of having the oblong steps, it's all a flat plane as far as the stroke goes. So there's less movement and creates less friction. And with less friction, you're able to rev it out higher without the engine going, oh my God, right? So it's just a naturally more efficient system, right? So it sounds a little different too, because the stroke is different, therefore the timing is different.
So
So
is the stroke smaller?
It's a different firing order.
it would be smaller.
It would
the
be
different
much
firing
smaller.
order as well. Yep. Yeah. And I'd love
Yeah.
to hear some viewers who know more than me, because listen, I do not know everything. I could even be wrong about some of this. If I am, please tell me. But from my understanding, these are the facts that I'm aware of. And yeah, it'd be a completely different setup, but it's more efficient because you have less of a harmonic resonance as well. And that's really what messes up engines, because you get knock out of that, and then they can't run as much timing. And it's just, it becomes a cascading issue. So I think it was a good move for them to do this. Chevy's done the same thing with their V8 and the C8. That's also a flat plane crank. That's why
All
it
right,
sounds like a V6.
So what you're telling me, so a flat plane crank, basically, if you can explain this to me again in words that you could try to tell a freaking kindergartner, is you're basically, the crank is it's turning. It's not turning like this. It's turning like this, basically, right?
Well, you're thinking
Seeing
of a
you
boxer.
explain that right now.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
have you ever seen the meme of the kid who had a dream and he's trying to explain it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to explain a flat, because honestly, I'm pretty good, I would say, at turning wrenches. I'm an aircraft mechanic, and I've worked on that
Kinda
El Camino
terrifies
to,
me.
yeah, I know. Tell me about it. And I worked
Just
on that El
Google an
Camino to
image
get it from
of a-
Indiana to Arizona to my first duty station.
Mhm.
Why would you? Yeah, I don't
If
understand.
you
Oh.
know what a small block Chevy crankshaft looks,
Yes.
but they all look the same,
Yes.
predominantly, besides depending on their size.
Right.
And then go to Google Images right now and just Google search any flat plane crank image. It could be a Ferrari, it could be anything else. It's an entirely different looking crank.
Yes.
Doesn't look like that. Every GM 350, even the modern LSs and stuff like that,
Oh.
still look like a 1957 small block Chevy 350 crankshaft.
Holy crap! I see exactly what you're saying now.
Good comparison. Equal length header
Yeah.
versus just a regular like log manifold. It's the same kind of thought process, but with a crank.
Interesting.
Yep.
So
So I mean,
Ford's
it's
running
more
that
balanced.
now.
There's a lot of benefits, right? So another thing with a lot less harmonic resonance, you can afford to stiffen up the drivetrain quite a bit more.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah, because you don't have the vibrations to freaking rattle your teeth out.
Mhm.
You could really run an engine high, or
I don't
just
like teeth in it either.
right?
Oh, damn it, Justin.
It was getting
Oh,
a
man.
little bit sensual in that description. Like it was going.
It
there.
was. It was.
But it
I
is. It's a
appreciate
lot
you taking
smoother.
it.
Yeah.
Way
less
smoother.
NVH, way smoother.
Yeah, who doesn't love less NVH, right? That's the battle we're fighting with every race car mod we're doing, right? It makes the car stiffer. It's like, this is cool, but man, now my teeth do rattle a little bit. Shit.
Okay, so Eric, a question for you before we go to our next break. If I were to pull up an image, would it show on the live stream viewers? If I were to screen
Yes.
right now.
I think it would. And if not, then we'll make it happen.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. I've got a couple of images here that Jesse sent in the Discord that I'm going to try to share.
Oh no, don't show those. Are terrible.
No, they're
Those
great.
are your cars, though, aren't they?
I second
I've
sharing
had
them.
I've had lots of cars. I was just saying I like GMV8s too.
Of course he does. If you can
Yep,
make
this
that
is good.
happen,
This is
Yeah.
happening.
look at Jesse's. What is that? A 2005?
Five.
That's
Yeah.
actually nope.
like
That is a
99.
99 FRC.
Damn, they started that early with the C5s.
Okay. All right. And then your Camaro that I'm about to share here, Jesse. What's this?
That was the tween year. That was the 97 SS.
Man,
you know what's
that
funny?
scoop.
We are talking about growing up racing. I grew up where I'm back now, and the track my dad used to take me to was DeSoto Speedway, which kind of went defunct and has now been resurrected as the Freedom Factory.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, I came back here and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go drag racing. 'Cause that's the thing. And I got this Camaro, and I just kept breaking the rear end, drag racing it.
From launch.
You know, so I decided, yeah, because they're tiny rear ends, they're pathetic.
What were you
It
working
is-
with there? Like the Chevy? That was the
This was the
LT
Camaro
one? Is that?
LT1.
Yep.
Yeah, this was the
Chevy
last
is
year, the
notorious
LT1.
for terrible rear ends. Everybody would put
Yeah.
forward 9 inches in the Chevy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Fiestas.
absolutely. And these were no different. And after I broke 2 of them, I was like, hey, this buddy, and I know we talked about racing RC cars for the podcast. I raced RC cars got an autocross. This was in St. Pete. This was actually like my first autocross. And I just decided, you know what? I'm like, maybe I can autocross this car. And this was actually the first car. I transitioned it from a drag street build and started prepping it for autocross. And it was a lot of fun. Both
What
the
was
cars
the
had love
suspension
tube
on that? I'm
headers.
not seeing as much body roll as I feel like I should.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's
it
a
had
good
a
point,
bars.
actually.
It's
It
got
had
at
a
least sway
lot of
bars.
suspension.
What'd
Oh,
you
yeah,
do to it?
I took that car apart and rebuilt it. Funny enough, we were talking about crankshaft. The crankshaft went out in it, long story short. I rebuilt that thing, and while I was in there for about 4 years, I just started replacing suspension parts, and that's why I decided, I'm like, it was a 6-speed. I'm like, that's not good for drag racing. I'm like, it should have an auto in it with big old stall, so I'm at a disadvantage there. And I'm like, I want to try this autocross thing out. I tried to make it work for auto. It was a lot of fun.
It
You can
looks
make
like
those
a lot
4th
of
gen
fun
F
there.
bodies.
Just
You
looks
can make those
rowdy.
4th gen F bodies do fun things.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had a bunch of other cars since, but that was
the smiles per gallon is what you got to have.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Plus
and
the freedom leaving the back of the car. Like, you
Plus
can't beat
the
that.
freedom. Plus
Oh,
the freedom.
yeah, that car had the LT4 hot cam kit, long tube headers.
Uh-huh.
When we rebuilt it, we did a little port and polish in the heads, a little head works.
oh.
It had a little bit of lope in it, and that
talking to
that
me,
Camaro
Jesse.
sounded really good.
Hell
It
yeah.
really sounded good.
Idle form.
The vet sounded good too, but I don't know if you know the difference between the LS sound
Oh, yeah.
and the older
Oh.
LT1 or traditional small block sounds. They sound different.
There's
Yes.
a big difference.
But my Corvette sounded good too because it had big long tubes on it and everything like this. But this Camaro, man, it had a little chop to it. It was pretty fun.
Hell
So
yeah.
I think I'm going to take this podcast back over for now, guys, and say before we go to the break, I had a lot of plans for that El Camino. I really did. And unfortunately, my wife decided that she wanted to make a move out of Phoenix, which is the best decision we've ever made, by the way. Sarah, if you ever listen to this podcast, I love you. And yeah, thanks for making me do that. But I did have plans for that El Camino. And one of the plans was going to be, first of all, a Ford 9-inch rear end. And I was going to LS swap it. Didn't really have the
Not a
chance.
bad plan.
Yeah, it was a great plan, but didn't LS swap it, and it was still the old original motor, 1972 350 V8. The thing sounded great, but it was not what an LS would give you. And the problem when you start getting into
Still
LS
got
stuff,
9 miles to the gallon.
if that, we're lucky to get 9 miles to the gallon in 1972. When I drove that thing, final story, when I drove that
It
thing
probably
from Indiana.
smells like gas when that thing.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad, dude.
It smells like more than gas.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
smell that car. I could smell the picture if you showed it to me.
Yes,
Like,
I will.
It's one of those.
100%.
On the intro for the next segment before we get out of here, yes, I will pull up a picture of that car. And every time the gas gauge didn't work in it either. Had an electrical issue, which I fixed in Colorado, but I was already halfway to Arizona at that point. I had to fill the oil up every time I filled the gas up, which was at the beginning of every state other than Kansas, where I had to fill up twice because I
That's-
wanted to make
That's
sure
a lot of oil consumption.
I had to put a quart of oil in for every full tank of
Catastrophic
gas I
engine
put in.
failure level.
Yes. It's okay.
I had a beater S10
That's
pickup truck that was my
incredible,
work
man.
truck that was like that. You put gas in it and you bought the cheapest oil you could get
Yep.
off the shelf at the
Like
gas
a whole
station.
quart
You threw it
every-
in.
1 quart
Dude,
every
that's
time I filled it
insane.
up. And 1
is
quart
so-
every time, 100%. But with that being said, guys, we're going to take our
Oh.
second and final break of the podcast. We're going to come up. We're going to play some games, and I hope, Jay Hall, you have a topic to talk about because you're the only one that hasn't talked about one yet. The coming back from the break. We're going to bring that one up. Okay, guys, we are back, and we ended this final, or the second segment with cars that we really loved, and I had to go back and find this picture, and I'm not going to get emotional, I promise, but my wife let me use this picture in our wedding, yeah, so that's the El Camino I was talking about. That's the El Camino I worked on.
She looks way cleaner. Like when I was envisioning it in my head, I was
Yeah, I know,
thinking
right?
a bit more shit box. Maybe it's a 20-footer that like we're this far back and you don't see the little imperfections, but that looks like a clean El Camino.
I
man.
love that it's not the like 80s style.
I gotta say,
It's more like the
Justin,
classic Chevelle front. I love it.
you
I-
underestimated my boy, and this is exactly what I expected out of Adam. And
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed one bit.
I bought that
Good on you,
car.
sir.
I bought that car off of a buddy. This was, without getting into my whole backstory, I had an issue with my parents. Kind of dropped out of college back in Indiana, and I was looking for a car. I had some GMC Sonoma, maybe it was an S10. It was an old one, like early 90s, and the clutch went out on me and had to replace the clutch. And my buddies that I was living with at the time said, "Hey, my brother is trying to get out from underneath the loan of this El Camino he has." And I was like, "All right, how much is the loan?" And he told me it was $5,000. So I called my grandparents and I was like, "Could you guys co-sign with me on a loan, please?" And Grandpa's
For an El
like,
Camino.
"Grandpa's sure. How
You
much
just
is
don't
the
have
loan?"
to finish the sentence.
It's in a car.
Grandpa's sure. How much is the loan? And I told him, I said, it's going to be $5,000. He's like, "Yeah, we'll co-sign on it with you." So he co-signed on it with me. I bought this car. The rear end was broken because the dude, before he parked it, tried to ramp it over some railroad tracks in Terre Haute, Indiana, and just
No,
it didn't work. So rear end was broken. I went to a pick apart in Terre Haute, Indiana, got a new rear end for it. The steering box had rusted out. So I learned how to weld on this car. I went to a pick and pull, pulled a steering box out of a 72 Chevelle and threw it in to my El Camino and learned how to weld on this car. Everything that I know about mechanicking came from that car, and that car got me from Indiana to Arizona. Didn't break down one time.
Just
So
took a
listen,
quart of oil
time.
every fucking 200
I'm not-
miles.
I'm mind blown right now. So over the break, Adam and I were talking about our shitbox Camaro or Chevrolet experiences. We both blown the
It's just
transmission
American
out.
cars, man.
It is. So
That was my
I
first
bought-
one too. Was a '90 Thunderbird. It was like the same
Ooh.
type vibe. Like
Hell yeah. But so you said you had damage from the previous owner jumping railroad tracks. So
Yes.
I was that previous
I was
owner.
the previous.
I jumped my Camaro over railroad tracks multiple times, and it was the most hilarious thing ever. And when I blew the 305 that came in that, I got a 350 out of
Yes,
the
sir.
Chevelle.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What the heck, man?
So this is a 1972.
I love it.
This is a 1972 El Camino. So the dual headlights in this thing, they came out in they stopped the dual headlights in 1970. And my next car, God, I miss that thing. I'm probably going to buy it back eventually, but I do want like a 1969-ish Chevelle because I love the slanted trunks. I don't like when they actually squared off the trunks. The
I agree.
the mid 1970s to early 1980s for American cars, for any
The
car.
notch is not good.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't
no,
know why I
this-
could see you getting Aussie too and going with a Ute.
no, stop
Like,
it.
get you
Everyone,
in some. You got that vibe about you.
I mean, that's the same look for
When
sure.
can you import Holdens? That's got to be soon.
I mean, that would look like a modern El Camino, to be honest.
Like
Yeah.
that's a shame we got the Chevy SS, right?
Yeah.
Which was the Holden, right?
Mhm.
We got that. They brought us that. Like you couldn't bring us a Ute
right?
because that Ute is awesome.
Agreed. And Adam, this is not
Legitimately,
shade
yeah.
being thrown. This is, I think you would look good in that thing.
Okay. Anyways, we're going to move on.
He'd look good in anything, but he'd look really.
I know I
good.
would. I know
Yeah.
I would, Justin. I know.
He prefers
But-
to sit out front and party out back. That's for sure.
We're gonna go ahead and move on here. Before we get to the games here, we got, by the way, 2 rounds of games, and I'll let you guys fight it out to figure out who wants to do what round. But Jay Hall, we kind of glossed over your subject. We got a little bit too hard into American cars. Speaking of
Freedom.
American cars, iRacing is coming out with the Mustang GT3 and the Corvette LMP.
Freedom.
Or is it a Corvette G? No, it's a Corvette.
That's a GT3.
It's also a GT3.
Yeah.
So,
they finally succumbed
Yep.
to the pressure and they released a GT3 car.
So, Justin,
It's a
before
real GT3.
Before
Yeah.
I get you on to what you want to talk about here, what was the bet? If you beat me in the Mustang while I have the Corvette, you'd buy the Mustang for me. Was that the bet?
Oh, I thought he said pay for your Corvette.
Yeah. Sudi's
Yeah, I'm-
sponsoring
I'm-
Freedom.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. Yeah,
Month of freedom.
okay, yeah. So, or Yeah, I don't know. I'll give you your money back for the Corvette when you beat me.
You'll give me the
Oh,
No,
money
but then
back.
that would mean you'd have to.
Yeah,
No.
so
So buy the
freedom.
Corvette and then race me in the Mustang. And if you beat me in the Mustang, I'll give you the money back for the Corvette.
so I'll just buy the Mustang then as well. Is that the plan? So how are we going to do this? Are you buying me one American GT3?
How about this? If you
Mhm.
pass Justin in the
Okay.
Mustang while he's going 70, you're going 80, then we'll buy you both cars. Freedom.
Okay, fair enough. So I will
Yeah.
buy the Corvette. I am
15
not a-
minutes, Road Atlanta, Mustang versus Corvette.
No, we'll talk about that. 15 minutes.
We'll live stream it.
Indy GP.
Mandatory
live stream.
drinking. It's going to be
Indy
great.
GP. We'll do Indy
Oh,
GP.
okay. Actually, how about this? Whoever wins, so if you guys have ever played Mario Kart drinking game, right, where you have to finish a beer
Yes.
before
You
you
have to
finish the
stop.
race.
Okay.
Yes.
If
You
we have something
can't-
with pits involved,
Yes.
let's do
No,
it.
not pits, but you can't drink and drive, right? That's not right. So you have
Fixed
to
setup.
stop.
That's not right.
You
Big
either
setup,
you
by the
either
way,
Okay.
Justin.
yeah. There's many strategies, right? You can do this at
Okay.
the start, where like you just drink at the start and then
Mhm.
go, or you stop in the middle of the race and drink and then go. Or
That's
you do it
called
right
drunk
before the
driving, by
end.
the way.
I mean, listen,
That's the
as long as
name.
it's
That's the name of
virtual-
the game. That's the name of the game. It's drunk
Yeah,
driving.
this is all virtual, by the way. Never do this on the real road. If you do it on the real road, then you're a jerk, and we don't like
Yeah.
you. But virtually, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. All right, Justin, get us into the Mustang GT3 and the Corvette GT3. What are you buying here, Jay Hall? What's your plan?
What's sad is I'm buying both of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of us who are playing iRacing are buying both of them. It's
Mm-hmm.
we already have that. What's it called? The sunken cost fallacy with iRacing, where we've already put so much money into this
Yes.
goddamn franchise.
Yes.
that it just what's another $20 into it?
Never do
So
the math.
We're
Never
never
do the math.
do the
No.
math. I did it
Never
once.
do the math.
No, don't
And
stop.
frightening.
Stop it.
It
Stop.
ruined my weekend.
Yeah.
It ruined
No.
my weekend when I
Yeah.
saw
No.
what I spent. And
No.
on something I don't own. It's nothing. It's just
I know.
Yep.
I cancel that subscription and it's just gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
But I don't
Thanos
regret
goes-
it. iRacing is still a great service, and I support it every single day of the week. Have gained real driving skills from it. Wouldn't change it.
Is this going to get you
But-
back? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is this going to get you back into GT3 racing? Because from what I saw, Jay Hall, you haven't been doing much GT3 racing. You've been doing a whole lot of ovals, though, because your oval I rating from a guy from Indiana was higher than a guy that was born and raised 45 minutes from Indianapolis. So,
Yeah.
What's this going to do for your GT3 stuff? If you can get off of your Assetto Corsa mods.
That being said, Assetto Corsa mods,
In the background.
incredible. A lot of fun stuff. We might be setting up some stuff here in the near future. You can do anything with it. But
Plug it.
these
quick.
new GT3s are going to be fucking incredible. Like, it's going to add a little bit of flavor because what was the best car to drive in GT3 and iRacing before? Audio wise, Mercedes.
Oh,
You
the
can't-
Mercedes.
No,
yes.
nobody can deny that the Mercedes best sounding GT3.
Z4 GT3.
Nah, I love it. It holds special.
That-
Very
the
close.
goat. The
But-
goat.
Current.
Why
We're
did I
talking
en-
current roster.
Why did I endure
Astro-
an entire season of OMEC and pain, except for two
He
races?
did. Yeah, Jesse knowingly picked this, like, it wasn't in the meta for the current GT3, but he picked a car that he knew was going to be slower because it sounded good. And we respect him for that.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not
Sometimes
doing
it's
that
about the
next season.
respect.
I'm not doing it.
All right,
But
guys. I got
it's gonna be exciting to have some V8s that sit behind you too. That's what I'm pumped to drive with the Corvette. The Mustang's gonna be one thing. I expect the Mustang to feel like the
Like a
M4
Mustang.
GT3.
No.
No, I expect it to feel more like the M4 GT3.
You're wrong.
Uh,
I have a feeling.
Because the Mercedes, the engine is so far back. It's so close to you. It's like a mid engine technically. The BMW still has that kind of feeling to it, the FR feeling, and I feel like the Mustang is going to feel like
Hey,
that too.
ACC used
Mustang is
the
badass.
ACC used the model already in their game.
Mhm.
It is fun to drive. I don't know how accurate it is. Obviously, I'm never going to drive a real Mustang GT3 car to tell you how accurate it is.
Don't
but
let me.
I
Front
think-
mid, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their model was the M4 for physics, and I think they gave it the audio was based on the Emil Fry Jaguar,
Mhm.
and it's fun to rip at ACC.
I think it's a good car. And so just looking at the dynamics of it in person, right? It's a very well planted car. And for its first year, it's incredible. Every
they can
time
just
you
keep
have
the
a
bumpers on
debut,
it.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Every time you have a debut car or a debut model, right? Like you're really working at the kinks of it, and there's a lot of things that really go into that to the point where it's the little details that take them out of the race, right?
They're already doing well. And look at the Corvette. That
Exactly.
C8
Mhm.
is on its third. This is crazy. Think about this. That C8 is on its third new car.
Yeah.
It came out originally as the C8 GTE, GTLM car, which is
C8R,
an
yeah.
iRacing, which technically we can already cheat and get that experience now. 'cause
I'll be
it's in the
curious to
game.
see, how those feel too.
And then they took that car, then they morphed it in IMSA, and everybody allowed them to run it in the GT3 program. They made this hodgepodge of a GT3 car out of a GTE car, and it's lived for 2 years as that. And now it's finally its own real homologated GT3 car. So the C8 has seen 3 literally car releases in the span
Yeah.
of
It's a lot of R&D essentially. too,
yeah, and they've had so many teething issues across all of them. And Mustangs actually really came out like in real life and performed really well for a brand new car. If you look at it
Agreed.
compared to like when the C8 came out, especially as a GT car, they had tons of teething issues.
True.
Which
Yeah,
is
they hit
just
the ground running now.
expected, man. Like you really plan for that to a degree, and I wonder if Ford was surprised.
I mean, even look at the 992 last year in real life, right? They brought the 992, 991 GT3R,
Yep.
right?
That's true.
What was that, 2 years ago or something? And I know there's some BOP probably stuff you could toss in there, but there was some even Porsche, the racing gods, if you would, of homologated,
pinnacle.
customer supported racing.
Yeah.
Porsche is the best at it.
Yep.
And
They're
even
bound
they
to
have
have some
teething
kind of
issues.
issue. So to have that factory free, that's something for everyone to be proud of, and it's something that's notable. And I think
We saw with the M4 too, right? The M4 came out and
J Hall, any final remarks before we get into the games here?
No, man, it's going to be fun though. We'll set up some race.
All right, cool. I'm down. No, I'm super excited, and it might get me back into GT3 racing because I have not
Hell yeah.
really done much. So yeah, I'm super stoked for it. But with that being said, we have our final segment tonight. If anybody needs to go refill their drink, they might as well do it now because this one might be a bit of a long one. So we'll let Eric get back before we get into this. We've got a couple different rounds here, and Justin, I think, or 2 different rounds. It's a different type of game tonight, so it's not higher or lower. What we're doing is you have to guess the correct answer, okay? And if you don't
I was
guess...
getting too lucky with the random shit.
Yeah, clearly. If you don't guess the correct answer,
Mhm.
then the other person has the chance to steal it. But if they steal it and they get it wrong, they lose 1 point. So this could get pretty interesting because it's a multiple choice.
Can
A
you go
through
into the
D.
negatives?
You can go into the negatives in this game.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting. So, Eric,
So it's unlike our fantasy league.
I kind of explained it a little bit. I'll explain it to you real quick here. We've got 2 different rounds because there are 3 people here. So
Okay.
I'll let the people who want to go first, and then the winner of that round goes into the second. It's a multiple choice A through D. And if the first person that goes gets it wrong, the second person has a chance to steal. If they steal and get it wrong, they lose a point. So
Okay.
you can
I
go
dig it.
into
You're
the
just
negatives
gambling.
in this game.
You're gambling a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
for our first round, it's going to be questions from the Nürburgring 24-hour race.
I'll do this one.
Who would like to go? So
Me.
we got Eric.
I feel like Jesse has to do it too. He's
Oh, Jesse's
wait.
gonna kick my ass though.
I'm
Jesse's
scared.
smart.
I'm a newbie when it comes to this race. I don't
know a lot of factual things, but I love that track and I know it very well. And that's my basis of knowledge. So we're probably in the same place, to be honest with you.
Fine.
All right.
Troll.
So it's
Bring
going to
it.
be
Oh shit!
Mr.
If
Lightsky.
it goes up to 5, I think everybody gets money.
Yep.
Oh my
shit.
god! Oh
It's
my
gonna be-
god!
It's going to be Mr. Lightsky and Mr. Olson here on the first round here. So because you decided
One more person.
to go first, Eric, what
Yep,
question number
I'll
would
send
you
it.
like?
what, between 1 and 5?
1 and 5.
Let's do it for Dale. Let's go 3.
Number 3. All right. What was the fastest lap ever driven in the Nürburgring 24-hour race, Eric?
Oh, man.
'Kay.
That's going to be tough.
This is going to be tough, and I will repeat.
Wait, what was the question again?
The fastest lap ever driven in the Nürburgring 24-hour race. Okay. A.
6 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Can we,
no,
can we
no.
ask class of origin?
All right.
Is this like a spell?
No, it's all-
You need to give me
Yeah.
multiple
Oh,
choice.
it's all
That's right.
GT3.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
come
multiple
on.
choice. Go ahead.
A. 909.052.
Okay.
B. 930.231.
Okay.
C. 752.079. Or D. 808.006. And if you want me to repeat those, I can, because I know this is a tough question.
I think
That's
you
all
right.
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 Slam-
I think
I
it's
was,
slam dunk.
I was in the Army, but I can remember that Charlie is the answer I'm going to go with.
Charlie is wrong. Jesse,
Oh.
would you
It's
like
D.
to steal, or would you like to let that one go?
No, that's D. I'm stealing it's D.
He stole it, and the correct answer is D. The
Nice.
fastest lap
Oh.
ever in the Nürburgring 24-hour race is 8 minutes, 8 seconds, .006. It was driven by Daniel Kiewitz, and he was a German, and it was in 2023 that he did that.
Damn. Okay.
Was it in a Ferrari?
I didn't look that far. I did not look that
Okay.
far, Jesse.
So just to refresh, what was the number that I guessed again?
You guessed
How far?
Charlie.
So, and that was what was it?
752. You were way off.
Way
That's not
off.
way
that,
off, but-
that was like only like 8 seconds.
Compared to the other.
Which-
16
True.
seconds,
For
but
the
it's like
Nürburgring.
around the ring. Around the ring. That's a
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to see how far off I was.
That's 2 seconds on a normal track.
All right.
Honestly, that's a good comparison.
All right, Jesse, you've got a point, and you have the
Well
next
done.
question. What number would you like?
I'll take 4.
All right, number 4. Oh. All right, Jesse. Which brand has been the winner of the most overall victories so far in the Nürburgring 24? Answer A, BMW. Answer B, Ferrari. Answer C, Porsche. D is Audi.
I know it's not Ferrari because I think they just got like their first one last year.
Oh.
And the other 3 are German brands, aren't they?
Yep.
1 of 9.
99999. It'd be crazy not to pick Porsche, wouldn't I?
Is that your final answer?
From just a random guess, whatever letter was Porsche, I'm picking Porsche.
All right, that was answer C, and you are incorrect. Eric, would you like to steal it, or do you want to
Ooh.
let that go?
How is
Yeah,
Porsche?
let's steal that one.
Okay.
Man, and I'm
All right.
really torn.
The
I'm gonna
answers-
tell everyone.
He's gambling. He's
Here we
gambling.
go. Hang on. Do you want me to give you the answers first? Do you want me to give you the answers that are still available?
Yes,
It's
and I'll tell
50-50.
everyone the numbers in between. or the
Answer
letters in
A
between.
is BMW.
Yep.
Answer B is Ferrari. And
Mm-hmm.
answer D is Audi.
It's hard between A and D. It really is because I feel like BMW really just has an advantage around that track. But I'm gonna go with D. I'm gonna go with Audi.
That is incorrect as well.
It was BMW. I should have gone with it.
Answer
Damn, a point. Oh,
That
Yeah.
was my
Gosh,
first
so-
instinct, but I'm like, no, Audi is one of the most endurance races. Dang,
Yeah,
you
so-
know
Somebody
what?
should
It's
come-
worth it.
Eric, you
Somebody
are
should
at,
come repo my cars.
Eric, you are at -1. Jesse, you have 1 point right now. BMW
These are golf scores, right? So I'm like, winning.
Yeah.
BMW has won the Nürburgring 24 20 times.
Okay.
And the
Gee,
second
that's sick.
place,
I think
Jesse,
I
in
knew that
second
to a
place
degree.
was Porsche. They've won it 13 times.
That's not
Damn.
even close, though.
Yeah. So we're all
Wow.
looking for
Good to know.
Beamers tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Jesse, you are still in the lead and you won. So question 3 and question 4 are up the table. You got 1, 2, or 5. Which one would you like?
5.
Question 5, Jesse. Which team won overall in the 2023 Nürburgring 24?
Yeah, I just answered it. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Answer A is Team Bilstein by HRT. B is Rowe Racing. C is Rutronic Racing. Or D is Frickadelli Racing Team?
D, Frickadelli Racing Team.
D is Frickadelli Racing Team, and they won it in the Ferrari 296. Jesse now has 2 points. Jesse, you can still lose this, by the way, if you get this next one wrong and Eric steals. You've got, Jesse, you got question 1 or question 2. Which one would you like?
Question 2.
Question 2. How long is a lap of the 24-hour race at Nürburgring? And we're talking about kilometers here, not time.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
Oh, man.
Fuck kilometers.
We need freedom units. We're dumb over
What
here.
the fuck is a
We
kilometer?
need a cheeseburger for pound of bacon.
At least.
A,
How many ducks per inch?
A, 24.5 kilometers. B, 21.2 kilometers. C, 25.4 kilometers. Or D, 27.2 kilometers.
Okay, that
Those
was
all
fast. I
sound
need
wrong
you
to
to
me.
run back by me again.
This
All right.
all seemed
Were you
wrong
even
to-
speaking English? Baxter,
Hey.
you don't speak Spanish.
A, 24.5 kilometers. B,
Okay.
21.2 kilometers.
I bet.
C,
2.
25.4 kilometers. Or D, 27.2 kilometers. I have no idea if that was in Spanish or not, so I apologize.
which
Are you
version of it?
French or what? What was
I
that?
have no
Which
idea.
version of the Nürburgring are we talking about?
The full
Which
one, the
layout?
full-
Which
the
layout?
That's
Full
a good
Nürburgring.
question.
The one they run at the 24-hour race.
The Enduro. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so I
The
feel like
GP and the Schleif.
okay, I feel like so there was one you said was 24 point something, right?
I said 24.5, correct?
And there was one you said it was 25, right?
25.4, correct.
Hey, those are so close. I'm gonna go. God, my gut says 24. I'm gonna go 25.
Jesse,
They all
you just
seem
won.
So long.
You just won.
Eh.
The correct
Oh.
answer is
Yeah,
25.
cute air horns.
25
I knew it was right there.
25.4 kilometers is the actual lap at the Nürburgring 24, which is the combined circuit. So yes, 25
I didn't know.
kilometers.
I didn't know what that was in metric. I only knew what it was in freedom units because it's 13 miles, right?
Oh, you got
God
pretty damn
bless.
close there.
So I was trying to do the conversion in my head. I'm
It's
like,
like 2.2 or
yeah, I'm trying to.
Yep. All right,
Then you give me 24, 25. You're a jerk.
After that. Good job,
Jesse, would you like question 1 or question 1?
I will take question 1 for the. This is the
TW.
T-back.
All
This
right.
is already out of hand, right? So this is
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
no.
This one doesn't matter at
It's
this point.
clinched.
okay.
So, Jesse, when
Byron.
was the Nürburgring built? And when I say built, when was it finished? A, 1921. B, 1927. C, 1930. Or D, 1964.
Man. I'm gonna go with 27. Whatever letter that was.
God
1927.
Dang, he's good, Eric. You had no chance here.
I swear
not
I'm not
enough.
cheating. I swear.
Yes, the Nürburgring broke ground in 1925, and it was finished. They did their ceremony in January of 1927.
Because I always remember like one of the oldest tracks in the
Yep.
world, right? And Indy was what, 29?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
old.
And I knew that Nürburgring was just before Indy. That's only.
All right, Eric, you have been
Well
kicked
done.
out of the first round.
Hey, and you know what? Listen, I'm not even ashamed. Jesse, he knows his shit. I
He
know
does,
he's smart.
clearly.
Yeah.
I
Well
know
done.
wheel.
Well done.
All right, so we now have Jesse and Justin in the final round while I pour my drink. So give me a second here, because this one's
Ooh.
going to get a little
Nemesis.
bit wild.
Spice in his drink.
All
We're
right.
talking about sim racing / just racing games here. 5 questions.
Oh.
So it's
Ooh.
not
Oh, man.
just
I'm gonna have a-
Well,
I'm
this
gonna
is
have a
good.
come
I
up
like
now.
this one.
I was
Yeah.
about
This
to
is way more
say,
fun.
Damn.
Jesse,
More.
you won the last round. What number
get-
would you like?
Do it for Dale.
All right, question number 3. Jesse, what was the iRacing revenue in 2023?
Oh,
A
God.
is 6.1 million.
I was in on the shareholders meeting.
A is 6.1 million. B,
Okay.
5.2 million.
What kind of question?
C, 1.7 million. Or D, 7.7 million.
I thought off the top of my head it was 8, so I'm going to go with D, 7.7.
You are wrong. Justin, would you like to steal this or you want to let this go?
No. How the
Justin-
fuck would I know that?
All right. Justin is not going to steal that. The
I'm smart
iRacing-
enough to know I'm dumb. Like that's
What's funny
well,
is
I'm
I
not
was
even
There's
gonna
some
guess
value
on
in that for sure.
I was giggling quite a bit when we were talking about how much money that we've spent in iRacing. The iRacing revenue in 2023, guys, for a sim racing game that's only allowed on the PC, they made $6.1 million.
Holy shit.
$6.1 million in 2023.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I know.
And they still don't have DLSS.
How many people are
Right.
employed by a race? Like,
Not that
That-
many.
Not 100. I looked that up. It's about 100.
I want DLSS. I'll
There you
take
go.
you more seriously then.
Yep. All right.
Of course, that looks amazing.
Jesse, you lost that. You didn't lose any points, but we're going to turn this one over now to Justin. Question, Justin, which one would you like? If you take number 3, you're retarded.
3.
Yep, sorry. Already taken. Next one.
I'll take question 1.
Question number 1. Okay, Justin, what is the most profitable racing game ever? And when I say most profitable, we're going to go by the number of copies sold.
Okay.
Okay?
And we're talking
Ever.
individual, but individual, not like a franchise.
No,
not Forza. It
franchises.
would be Forza 1, 2,
No, it's just
franchise.
franchise.
Gran
okay.
Turismo. Gran Turismo.
Stop.
Final
Will you
answer.
let me? Will you
No,
let me
you
ask
don't
you?
even need to read them. Gran Turismo. Good. Ask them to Jesse.
Wrong. All right.
Really?
Yes.
I was so
yes.
confident in that.
Jesse, would you like me to ask you the actual question?
So confident.
I would love to hear the multiple choice
All right.
answers.
Question A, or answer A is
Question A.
Need for Speed.
Okay.
B.
Wait, does it include movie reference?
No, it does not. Just copies sold. B is Gran Turismo. C is Midnight Club. And D is Mario Kart. You cannot take B.
Damn it.
Oh my God.
Damn. That's hard.
I know where it went sideways now.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart is throwing me for a loop here.
Yeah, it's definitely Mario Kart.
It's got to be Mario. It's
It is.
Nintendo. It
Because
has
that's
to
like
be
a little
Mario
bitch
Kart.
answer. That's not a real goddamn racing game. That's pissing me off to be honest.
I told
me
you
off.
not to
That's not-
answer.
It's not a goddamn real
I mean, to be fair, I
it's-
would have blindly picked
it's-
Gran Turismo too,
Yes.
but
Okay.
it's Mario
I
Kart.
know,
D.
I did.
You wanna
Next
know
thing I know,
what's-
he's going to be rating Grand Theft Auto 5 because you could drive a car in it. And
you wanted. Well,
of course,
okay.
it's
There's a lot
sold
of
more
racing in
copies.
that.
Of course,
There's no-
they're playing with controllers.
That's true. Valid.
Okay. All right. Here's the deal. Okay.
All right, rant over. I'm sorry.
All right. Jesse, you got the question right. It is D for Mario Kart, so you get a point. But you weren't.
But at what cost?
you were pretty
what
far
cost?
off, Justin. You were pretty far off.
No.
Need for Speed sold 150 million copies.
I
all-
wanted a big Need for
Their
Speed.
whole Need for Speed franchise sold 150 million copies. Mario Kart sold 152 million copies.
Oh, that is.
What Gran
closer than you
Turismo
would
sell?
think.
Gran Turismo only sold 85 million.
Wow.
They've had so
That's a
many
real
of them,
driving
too.
simulator, though.
Exactly. Yes.
Simulator
Imagine
wanna-
how
wanted
much
to
it
go
would be if
fast.
they would bring it to PC.
Oh, I know. That probably
Oh,
would have
man. I'm-
skyrocketed, dude.
We dropped
Forza's-
the first F-bomb.
Forza's already done it.
It's true.
I don't know why.
And they screwed it up, but we're playing a
it's-
game here.
Yeah,
so.
it's terrible. All right. Anyways,
Hmm.
Jesse, you have won that
Damn.
question. You're up 1-0. So you have question 2, 4, or 5. Which one?
5.
Which one?
Let's roll 5.
All right, Jesse.
I want to clip that fucking sound.
Who has the
Now we
highest?
can.
Who has the highest Formula Car I rating in iRacing? Answer A is Jesse. Answer B is Adam. Answer
Love
C is
cool.
Justin.
Oh,
Or
this
answer
is
D
funny.
is Eric.
This is
Oh,
funny.
bless.
This
Oh,
is
this is-
funny.
This is insulting.
But formula. That's. Oh shit.
He
Mm.
knew
It's
what
got to
he
be
was doing.
me.
You can't look. Stop
It's
looking at
got
your
it's got to be me.
So you're going with
Anyway,
A.
did Justin ever recover his I rating?
computer.
I don't know.
Wait, you
did.
can't ask that now.
He did.
No.
Oh.
From the wait. There's been multiple tanks, to be honest.
He recovered his I-rating from the last tank from back in 2022.
Do
Trust
you
me.
name those tanks by whatever whiskey it was?
Trust me, I looked all of this up. I had to look everybody's
That laugh was a yes.
Yes.
This is funny, dude. This is a great question.
I had to
love
look up everybody's I-rating. This is the one that took me like 30 minutes to find to make sure I got the correct answers.
Then it's got to be Justin.
It's up to you, Jesse. You
Is
said
it?
you or you said Justin. Which one would you like to pick?
Oh. Justin, have you been racing? Have you been doing officials? Oh.
Has
I can't be part of Discovery in this.
listen, this man's seat is broken.
Oh my God. Oh,
Because
jeez.
we're against each other this round, aren't we?
I will tell you, Jesse, that no matter what answer you choose, it is all very close.
You know, the thing about formula rating is it took off where our road license were. It was measured from there, so it's a point. in
That's why
time.
I
It
said
depends on-
formula.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm still a
that's
B
the-
license.
There's a formula to his madness.
So is Jesse.
That's the kicker.
Is he a B
here, so-
license too?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. In road, he's an A license, but that has
Oh.
nothing to do with this question. I just may have given away. Maybe.
Damn.
Fine. I picked myself.
It's Jesse.
Damn.
Correct. Correct answer, Jesse.
Damn.
You have 2,723 I rating on your formula car. Justin has 2,523 with the second closest. Then it comes to Eric with 1,794. Then it goes to me with 1,428.
I don't know about that one. You gave away the answer.
And
I
it
feel
did.
like
So it's up to
there
you,
should be
Eric.
some concessions.
You're the mediator here. Do we still give Jesse the answer there?
I think you should come up with another question on the fly.
I will come up with another question on the fly. All right, so it's still
Yep.
1-1. Jesse, you now have actually, Eric, because you're not in this, would you
Damn.
mind joining the Discord and muting me? And I will give you
I
while
got
I go
you.
find another question.
What you need.
I will share my screen here and I'll let you ask these guys the next couple.
Okay, I got you. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but let's do it.
You got this. Can you see me in Discord right now?
Let's see. Not yet. Are you streaming somewhere?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're at.
Okay. Can you see that without giving the answer away to the viewers that are watching this?
Yep, we're good.
All right.
All right. So, which question we talking about here?
It's up to them.
Oh, I see.
So the question is going to Jesse. So Jesse, you've got your question. It's question number 2, question number 4. Yeah, you got 2 and 4.
I'll take 2.
There you go, Eric.
When was the first Gran Turismo released? Was it A, 1996, B, 1999, or C, 1998?
You got a D there too, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Or D, 2000. Maybe this over here so it's less awkward. Okay, yeah. A, B, C, or D. Do you want me to reread those?
Yeah, run through one more time.
A, 1996, B, 1999, C, 1998, or D, 2000?
It was 99.
So that's B, 1999. Are you sure that's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That's really close, man. But that's not the correct answer.
Well, I was
Oh,
supposed to be able to
crap.
steal. It's 1998.
So are you able to steal it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Justin was supposed to be able to steal that, Eric.
No, so I didn't say the answer, but I said he was wrong. No, Justin. So C, 1998. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it was strongly
Yes.
alluded to. That was the answer.
Was it really? Did I lose
You
that?
said you were really
you said it was
close, man.
close. It's-
I mean, it could have been
98
98 or 2000.
give me a half point for it.
Both,
All right, so we're, so
both
we're
were
one,
possible.
so
Justin
we're
still had a
1.5
50%
to half a
chance.
point.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So do we all agree that's still worth a point?
Jesse?
Fine. I feel like I got money on the line here. Sure, give him a point. Give him 5.
So it's one.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, what happened? We just lost Adam. Oh my god.
He gone.
Our head was just cut off, guys. Hey, listen. If you're still watching, we freaking love you. This is super cool. We've never done this live before.
I don't know
And-
what to do with my hands.
I don't know why Adam just left. This is literally his
He'll-
thing. This is hilarious.
He'll figure out a way back.
Yeah. So we don't have any more questions. I guess we can come up with a question. Oh, no, I see him doing things. He's streaming to me in
Wait.
Discord.
I would just say, why is there a moose in your background?
Okay, this is y'all's fault, by the way.
A
I'm
moose?
back now.
This is your fault.
so
Do you know
it's
In IT, we call this the PEBCAG issue. Problem
Yeah,
exists
oh.
between keyboard and share.
okay. All right, fair enough. But it is now 1-1, and I do have the questions up. We can go from that. Am I still showing on?
I
the-
just see like a still of you.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks great though.
It, no, hold on. Actually,
Am I
I see
moving?
you in the Discord. But
Oh no, I don't even. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the Discord now. But am I
Right.
back here in the actual podcast?
I just see a still
You're still
image of
still.
you in it.
I'm still.
Yeah.
Your
Mhm.
camera might be
Still.
breaking here.
Eric,
did
so I'm
that.
going to let you say some words here because I know I'm still on the live thing, and then I will be back in 1 second.
Listen, he's going to be back, but he's also going to be Adam. He's got a split personality, so let's just deal with it. And
All right.
That
maybe it's like a
explains so
Batman,
much.
Bruce Wayne
Uh,
kind of deal.
All right, here's
So-
what we're going to do. We're going to stop recording, and I apologize to the viewers on the live stream. We will re-record for the final question because that is what we need to do. We'll stop recording and then start recording again. Give us 1
Right.
second. All right, guys, we are back after a bit of a break.
He's back. I'm Eric.
We had a bit of an issue because I was trying to find another podcast question, then I closed the podcasting service that we're using. But it turned into a mess. If we do have any more live viewers, we have one more question to go. Right now it's tied between Jay Hall and Jesse. And Jay Hall gets the question because he just won that last question of when was the first ever Gran Turismo released, and it was 1998 instead of 2000, which he could have gone
Yep.
with as well.
I could have.
Justin, would you like question 4 or question 4?
I think we're gonna go with 4.
You're going to go with 4.
Mhm.
Okay. As of 8:15 p.m. EST tonight, how many laps have been turned on the iRacing service? A, 7,382,815. B, 7,382,547,815. C, 5,678,212. Or D, 6,364,669,886. I know you're going to ask me to read those back.
A, 7 million and change.
Okay. Question A is, drum roll, please. Incorrect.
Fuck.
Jesse, it comes to you. Would you like to steal? You have to if you want to win this game, unless you want to end in a tie tonight.
I can never tie Jay Hall. We're gonna crash each other at the finish line. You know that.
That's right. Jesse
we
get banned from a
could
league.
just hold hands and cross the line together.
That would never
But you
happen.
would-
Jesse is going to be the
We're gonna
guy who's
take
made an
this to the
example
next
of, and that's what I
level.
love about him.
All right.
Okay. all right,
Jesse,
send
would
it.
you like the question
Send it.
asked back?
How many laps?
How many laps have been turned on the iRacing service as of 8:15 p.m. EST tonight, which was about 30 minutes before we went live? Do you want the answers again?
Oh, that was in total.
In total. Would you like the answers?
I'm not even gonna
Back
say how I
again.
misunderstood the
Ju-
question. It's gonna make me
I
so
don't.
mad.
Don't read me Justin's answer. Read the 3 other ones.
I thought he said since.
Do what,
8:15.
Jesse?
You said one was what? How much? 6 billion.
One was 6,364,669,886. Question C was 5,678,312. B was 7,382,547,815. And A was 7,382,815. But you can't go for A because Justin already guessed it and he was wrong.
He said 7 million. It was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He said one was 5 million. One was 6 billion.
One was 6 billion, one was 7 billion,
It's definitely in
and
the
one was 5
billions.
million.
And one was 7 billion?
Yep.
Holy crap. I don't know. I guess there'd be some oval guys out there, right? Those are short laps.
Mhm.
Power lappers. Fucking putting in work.
You call those
Uh,
power
Taking laps
bottoms?
all day. Just
the,
taking
the
laps.
old college test taker in me says throw out the high and the low and pick the one in the middle. So that'd be 6 billion, right?
Jesse Olson, you have just won your first round of trivia in Slow Motion Broadcasting X Sudi podcast. The correct answer is D. As of 8:15 tonight, it was 1,669. Oh, Jesus. You haven't even got 6
Nice.
billion. 364,669,886.
Nice.
So 6.4 billion laps, guys, have been turned
Billion.
into
You have to say it like Trump.
billion
Billion.
have been turned in iRacing.
China.
I want you to think about
Yeah.
that. 6.4.
How many instances of netcode have been hit within, like, how many incident points is...
So true.
Eric, do we have any shout outs? Do we have anything we want to talk about before we get out of here in the YouTube
You know
channel?
what? Shout outs to all of our listeners. We know we've been in a hiatus lately, and anyone who's listening right now, we love your goddamn face. We
Yes.
know we've been absent. Life happens. We've always wanted to get back to this, and we're now more motivated than ever.
100%.
So please like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you're at this point. Bro, we love you so much. Please do it so we can get to know you. All right. So please, we're going to do more every Friday. I think this is going to be a perfect format. Check us out here. We're going to release dates for when the actual podcast is released. We'll have clips associated with it. So be on the lookout for dates, further details to come along. We're going to dial this in more and more. So you can expect even more of this greatness because we're just getting this more and more fine-tuned, and we love it. We're having a great time. We hope you're having a great time. Please leave a comment. What was your favorite part? And with that, back to you, Adam.
Jay Hall. With that, back to you, Jay Hall. Would you like anything to say, man? Like, we've only been at it for 2 weeks, but, man, what do you think? I don't know if you can say anything that Eric hasn't already said, to be honest.
Nah, man. Yeah, I think he covered all of the bases there. It was a fun hour or two. What is it? Man, it always goes over, man.
It does.
It's like in my head, this was 45 minutes. In actuality, this was probably 3 days of my life. This was actually 72 hours. And like, we just don't realize it. Time just fucking phases by. But no, it's been great, man. Good times and looking forward to the next one. Oh, he wants to get on the mic. Let him. Lift him up. He wants to get on the mic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, guys.
Do it.
I see him.
For the record, we have a new puppers in the house, guys. His name is Badger. He is a 50% Aussie, 50% Corgi mix,
100% adorable.
100% badass. And the reason we named
And listen, go ahead. Sorry.
the reason we named him Badger. So I got the first pick a dog name, and I named our Corgi Lewis, who is nowhere to be found. So Sarah got the second pick a dog name, and she's like, I want to name mine Daniel. And I was like, Daniel is a very weird name for a dog. So she decided to pick Badger instead for the honey badger, Daniel Ricciardo.
So for those of you who haven't heard the episode 1 of podcast, which is none of you because we just did it the other day and
Yes.
it's not released. Conspiracy. Is Ricciardo going to replace Hamilton and Mercedes?
Yeah.
I think. Has it started here with Adam? I don't know. Maybe, possibly. You've heard it here for folks.
That's
Shut up and drive it.
That's a great
Slow motion
question.
broadcast.
That is a great question. We're almost done, so we're going to have to ask you to say that again, Eric, here in 1 second. But we have Jesse Olson here on the bottom left of the screen. Jesse, have you been enjoying it, and do you have any closing comments?
Oh, it's always fun, guys. Yeah. Good times hanging out. Good conversation. think we're all like-minded guys here. Anytime we get a chance to talk race car, virtual, real life, or just our own personal shit boxes,
I like
it's
it.
a good time, right? We enjoy it.
I like
Hell
it.
yeah.
So on the count of 3, guys, we do have a new slogan here for the Slow Motion / Sudi podcast. We're going to say it and we're going to end it. So until next time,
wait.
guys, I want you to 1, 2, 3.
Shut up and drive it.
And that's it.
Go
Only
team.
Eric said it, but that's
Oh,
okay.
damn.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
guys.
Uh,
We love